Wagwan. So my name is Bakhita, and the song I'll be singing for you right now is Ukunda. It's one of the singles off of my latest EP, Purge. It dropped in December last year. The song itself dropped in September. It's about love for the people around you, appreciation for the places that we're going, that we have been, and an understanding that you don't need to get away to take care of yourself and get away from all of the noise and siasas that are happening in everyday life. Yeah. Um, hey, feeling how we move fast, wondering if they will ever look back. Chasing things so far away they won't last. What we need was where we were the Said what we need was where we were the whole time. Lessons always serving, elevating my mind. Stepped into my power and I love how it shines. It's all mine. Said all I'm claiming in this realm is right here. Real love, real friends, it's all near. Abundance overflowing, my dear. Hadikwa maskio. Oneni vile najipenda na chachisha. Najipeleka taratibu kabisa. Juu kazi yangu najua hulinda. Na mistari nachora nazo hufunza. Hufunza. Lakini tupatane pale Ukunda. Ukunda diani tukidunda. Me and mine catching a wine tukidunda. Ukunda. Nipate pale Ukunda. Ukunda diani tukidunda. Ataka few ikiwa na tutaka chuna. Yeah. Mental health. I'd say that's the biggest challenge. Not that there haven't been other ones, but those other ones, they come, they go. How you attack it is different, and how you attack and deal with other issues is always directly correlated to how you're dealing and treating yourself. So my biggest challenge has always been me, because whether it's me doubting myself, whether it's me not putting my best foot forward, whether it's me skipping out on something because we're depressed or something. So all of that and dealing with how my swings from depression to being okay, the swing of paranoia and everything, thinking through those things is what I'd say has been my biggest challenge, but has also been my biggest asset, because it's shown me all of the resilience that I have inside. It's shown me how many times things can actually be darkest before it's dawn again, and then you're back. And it's a cycle of life, man. Death has to happen in order for rebirth to also happen. So you can't live without going through things. And yeah, dealing with me, I get into depressive episodes, and when I'm in a depressive episode, I know it's a time for me to die. And when I die, I am reborn again through slow and caring affirmations, through slow and caring communication with myself. And sidebar, being an alternative artist, I'd say that's also something that I've had to challenge. And that also directly challenges my mental health, because it's like I don't want to be a mainstream artist. I don't want to do what it is Kenyan society thinks I should be doing. I don't want to sing about in this style, or about these things. I want to sing about things that I'm passionate about, things that I feel like we should all be passionate about, things that I feel like, are deriving from deeper passions for the African society. So that has been a challenge, but yeah, I've only felt it heaviest when I'm not doing well mentally. Yeah, best I can actually sum it up very easily. We've just come back from a tour through Zanzibar, and that was my best experience as an artist so far. Because, I don't know, it hit me at some point and I was like, wow, I'd really manifested wanting to be able to travel and work as an artist and seeing different places, and have that be meshed in with sharing my music and sharing my art with people, because I want to experience culture, but also borrow from that culture to create. So how can I do this? And seeing that come into fruition, wow, so all the moments that I've been able to travel and do all of these things and still be paid to do it, and not have to lose myself in the process, those are my happiest moments as an artist. So yeah, whenever I'm out there creating, me, I'm happy. It's my worst. Hey! Still tied to the music industry because it's two sides of hectic coins. But just the rumors that go up and about, the kind of jealousy and competition that comes with the industry, like people. Yeah, some people don't want to see you win, by the way. Some people actually just don't want to see you win, and they can make it their mission to, make sure that you're not welcomed into spaces that would otherwise be willing to have you. So those experiences have definitely been my worst, because it's like, okay, are you going to chalk up my entire creative person to something that you're not even sure is true, And you might end up losing a deal, you might end up losing a friend. Like, those moments are so painful because, you might have felt like you had support where you didn't. So you kind of wake back into this moment where you're like, fuck, like, we're alone again. But in reality, you're not. It's just that moment. And when you push through it, man, you come out the other side way better. Definitely the talent has to be there, but practice goes way further than talent. So you could be this talented, crazy, amazing artist, but if you're not putting in the work, you're not going to do anything. You're not even going to pull up to the canvas and paint, even if you know that you're Basquiat amount of crazy artist or whatever. So yeah, they work hand in hand. As much as you might have talent, you have to put in the work. So for me, I know I'm where I'm at mostly because of the work that I've put in. The talent was always there, but the work that I put into myself, into trusting myself, even as a singer, there's things that I do now that I couldn't dream of doing when I was starting my music practice. Like now maybe my octaves are 5 octaves apart. And I couldn't even imagine doing something like that younger. I don't know if it's 5 or 3, somewhere around there. Let me not overhype. But literally, I can sing a bunch. And I always used to put myself in this closet and say that, I'm just an alto, I can't sing soprano. Or, I'm just an alto, I can't sing tenor. And now we can do it all, bruh. So literally, having faith in yourself and working at something and practicing and waking up and saying, yo, today I'm going to do this, today I'm going to attempt this song and see how it goes, and working on yourself so that when you get there and you're belting that song, you're not losing confidence and getting shaky. The work that goes in goes a long way, because without it, you can't transform the talent into something. Say the biggest difference is that youth don't put themselves in boxes. I think we're less likely to say, you have to be in this genre, you have to be in this, you have to be in that. I feel like every time I interact with more established artists or established companies or people like that, they want to put me into a category, and it's like, bruh, we're here to scrap categories. We're here to revolutionize what creativity can look like, And I feel like artists and younger, upcoming, and just people who are now journeying towards being fully established, or where it is that we want to be. We're not trying to put ourselves into categories. We're allowing ourselves to express things fully, And that's something I feel like is a big advantage to us, because we're able to sit in the global creative industry and really work at it from a way that's very competitive. Because I'd even say I have more clients, even as a set designer and as a musician, who are more into, the global perspective of everything, and who are from the wider range of artists, people in, I don't know, just watu wa maju, even people outside of Africa. A lot of these people approach youth, even I don't know, there's a bunch of really, really cool things I've been seeing happening in the industry. Even recently, there was something with Google and YouTube, and majority of those artists were people my age group. So it's just wow. Good time to be alive. Good time to be alive. So the pioneers, I feel need to stop trying to put themselves into boxes and just live.
Is there an advantage that they have over there?
I'd say experience in the game, definitely. Their experience of how to maneuver the industry, we'd be lost without it. So it works hand in hand. I feel like they're helping us gain experience and gain understanding of how to maneuver, but they're also learning to be more open to change and more open to different, crazy creative styles. I performed at Kilifi New Year last year, which was really cool because performances I started in 2015. So after 2020 is now when I guess people are like, oh, this artist, Yani, actually makes their own music and does all of that stuff. Because before then I was performing, but I wasn't releasing music, so I was actually exclusively a live musician. 2020 is when I was like, okay, I need to start kind of putting out music so that I can also gain a larger following that can come to these live shows. So they kind of worked hand in hand. So in terms of iconic places, now we're even backtracking because my first experience working at events was through Kilifi New Year. So coming back now to 2021 and being able to perform there, it was like, wow, literally, like I've seen my entire artist growth before my very eyes, because we've come from dreaming that, wow, I wish I could be on the stage that I'm volunteering to help build, to, oh my gosh, they actually have asked me to come back as a designer, to, oh my gosh, I'm actually the lead designer for this stage, to, wow, I'm playing this stage, So that was an iconic moment for me, because the kind of growth that I've done with Kilifi New Year and Beneath the Baobabs has been also very monumental for me as an artist. Aside from that, coming back to the tour that we just came out of, like, there's this place that we performed that was looking over the ocean, and honestly, all of my shows by the ocean have been amazing. I'm very, very grateful and very, very honored and privileged to be able to have traveled even at all for any of this stuff, because I know there's a lot of people who haven't even been able to go as far as, even Naivasha, just for vibes. So being able to go around and do all of that, all of those moments have been so monumental for me, because it really just cements the fact that, someone out there is watching my craft and is making everything fall into place, or rather the universe is doing that, and we're happy about it. So my music, a very loose kind of genre. I'd say, I don't mind. I'm more of a jazz musician, but alternative jazz. So yeah, that includes neo soul, that includes blues, that includes some R&B and hip hop from time to time, but it's all rooted in jazz and funk and it being different, which is what brings the alt kind of dynamic to it. And then my artist name has always been Bakhita, and I wanted to use Bakhita very intentionally because I was bullied a lot in kindergarten for having the name Bakhita. Like, most people had English names.
Which was not common.
No, at all. at all. So I was always being bullied for it, and people were saying, what does that even mean? You know how kids are just cruel to each other, that is, how just kids are just so real. So kind of identifying with my name was part of me identifying with my being and my person. So by the time I identified with my name and my person, I had already also started to imagine what my life would look like and what I'd be as an artist, because again, I've been dreaming for this since way back. So yeah, coming into that and like coming into myself, I was like, of course I'm going to carry Bakhita on. I don't know another artist called Bakhita, why not? Yeah, and I found so much power in it, honestly. I love people using my actual name and it meaning still my stage name. It's like, yeah. Yes, I do. Shout out to my band. Shout out to Ola, who's the producer I was speaking about, who we've been doing this for the past 10. Man, yeah, we met in 2010. So we're literally even going to 12 years now. So shout out to him. Shout out to now the people that I play with actively in the live band. Abuga, they're so amazing. They're also a guitarist on their own. Onyaj, who's also an amazing bassist, an amazing musician also on his own. To Mudandu, who's also an amazing guitarist, an architect, Yani. Like, we meet in this moment to merge together. Mr. Lou, who's also an amazing artist on their own. I feel like my band is also comprised of people who are individuals without us having to be together. And for me, as a person, I expect the people that I interact with to be an individual on their own, because otherwise we're going to create some codependence that I am not trying to be part of. So, yeah, how do we link and how do we meet? Those are the people who have helped me build my music tremendously. And then for my homies, someone like Kavi Kimari, who's an amazing, amazing multidisciplinary artist. We actually shared the studio space together at Karen Village. We lived together. They're also my cousin. So, I don't know, the kind of support that they've granted me as a person for my mental health, for my work, for faith in my work, like daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, just support. And without them, I would not have faith in being here and being an artist. And then not my other homies, but more of my homies, just literally everyone. Erica, again, Abuga, Haley, Gitao, Flower. Literally, all of these are people that I really, really love and have really, really helped and just pushed me in my art. Nashan, Davis, Kiambi, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm also... I'm the kind of person who evolves a lot very drastically. So whenever I do so, I kind of also meet new people and kind of join new friend groups and stuff. So I have so many people who I've met along this journey. So many people even that I haven't been able to taja just because off the top of my head, it's not just there. But man, literally no love lost. If you've ever helped me in this life, man, big, big shout out to you. But if you're using it as a way to, if you're using it as a way to hold me hostage, bruh, you ain't done that much. I'd actually be a cook or like someone who works with animals, because actually working with animals was one of the things that I even wanted to do even when I was young. So I was like, I want to be a vet, I want to be a singer, I want to be, and then food, because I love food. I think what we feed ourselves is how we feed our soul, how we take care of ourselves, and the intention you put into what you eat also feeds into just the kind of magic that you churn within yourself. And yeah, it's a beautiful way to show self-love, a beautiful way to express love. Me, I actually even consider food a love language. So people who appreciate food and who appreciate me with food, I'm cool too. Yeah. Working independently as a musician, I'd say, is one of the toughest things that you could do in this industry, especially if you're not working at doing any mainstream art. It's very, 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 very difficult. But basically what that means is you do your own bookings for shows, you do your own planning for releases, you do your own marketing for releases, you write your own music, you produce, or rather you're part of the writing production process of your music. Just basically literally handling everything to do with your work. Personally for me, because I'm not just doing music, that became very, very hectic to be marketing myself as a musician and marketing myself as a set designer. So I opted to join an agency which helps me with the bookings, the marketing, the not the production process per se, but the post-production process, which is now having the song and taking it now to the streets for people to listen to. So I joined Kipepeo Agency, sorry, and they have been really, really helping me, at least with all of that stuff, with bookings and everything, which honestly, if any artists out here have the option for that, I'd really tell them to go ahead and do that. Especially if, again, you're not just doing this like 9 to 5, or if this isn't your only discipline, this will at least help you have different ears to the ground. And especially since in the industry, especially the music industry, it always helps to have a few people mentioning your names, places for people to take you seriously. Yeah, I think that you should definitely get some management. In terms of signing now, honestly, I'm not open to signing. unless it's like with a label that completely gives me creative freedom, because I'm not not 79, no 100% creative freedom. Yani, these people are just saying we just want to now invest in your money and handle all of this shit, but like you're doing all of the creation. Because even now, like in my agency, I still have 100% creative freedom. Whatever direction I say we're going is where we're going to go. Or I'll be the one saying we're going here, and then whether I now get advice that, maybe not. But regardless, it's up to me, and it's up to me, it's my decision. For when you sign, those choices aren't for you anymore. You lose a lot of your autonomy. I actually know a bunch of artists who we kind of started out together, who, man, right now they're going through it mentally because they're not in the place they want to be. Emotionally also, because now their music isn't something that they recognize. And that's why I'm like, I can't give up my creative freedom, because I want to be able to recognize my music. Again, I started my music because of my wanting to express and share expression with people. So if I'm not expressing and sharing that, like, what are we doing? And then you might even go into like slumps. You can't take a break because you have to do what and what for these many years, and then you're in debt.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. So if you can align with a team that can help you with management, do it. 100% do it. It will save your life and help you alleviate some of the stress, so you can also focus on your other stuff. I wouldn't be able to work as a set designer as much as I do if I didn't have someone helping me with my music, because right now I do all of my set design on my own. But yeah, the two would have been very difficult. Yeah. When I tell you we're highly favored. No, but jokes aside, the pandemic, me personally, for me as an artist, like I was even just saying this, that was my breakthrough as an artist, as a person, as all of it, because I realized, wow, a lot of how even society had been up until then was so dependent on other people and each other, and I've never been that person. So I'd found it harder actually before the pandemic, because people are like, oh, so who's gonna do this for you? Oh, so and like through the pandemic, people are like, oh, you should actually be able to do these things by yourself. And I was already doing most of those things on my own. So as an artist, man, I was able to still shoot my own music videos. I was able to, in a COVID controlled kind of way, at least maximum having like, okay, there was a day we played games. Actually, no, that was before COVID, sorry. After COVID, I'd never have a set that had more than 5 people on it. We were all masked and everything. And by that time, it's only because we need the videographer and the people for lights. Otherwise, the set ni mimi naifanya, the model bado ni mimi, the music bado ni mimi. So it's like, the COVID really helped me see that, anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. And as long as you have faith in yourself and you execute your visions to 100% of their capability, and to 100% of their capability, man, you maximize the kind of capacity that you're achieving as an artist, as yourself, even just for yourself. But even what I mean, like the pandemic was great for my person, was because, I don't know, I was just finally able to explain to people through a module that they understand why it is that I'm not able to interact with people that much. Like I could finally put a name to, my introverted kind of nature. I've never needed to be with people 24/7. Like for sure, like we can kiki in the club today, but on Monday I need to disappear. I can't talk to people for like a week, for even a month if it was a really, really hectic night. And I guess the pandemic allowed us to all have space to just be individuals. And for me, I thrived in that. I ate every single day of that up. Low-key, even coming off of lockdown, the only thing that sucked was now not having like solid income. And even then I started to solidify my income through COVID because of now putting out more of my own sets, and people are like, oh, you're able to do this mostly on your own? Sawa, come through, you know, this is our budget. Low-key like that, you're doing more and more things. So yeah, man, it's been cool. My understanding of identity is an aspect of yourself that is unique to you, not necessarily meaning that it's never found anything else, but it's a part of you that defines, you know, you and yourself. So as a creative, having a kind of definition or a kind of concept that you identify with and feel, you know, home in, it will allow you to then create work and things that then, you know, bring you that kind of peace and bring you, I want to say, authentic work, because there's a lot of people who, without identity, you end up making work that's not authentic to you, and it's maybe then just feeding into society. But then, are you then an artist? Are you then expressing your artistic or rather, are you expressing your artistic talent, or are you just, you know, practicing something that has always been, like reciting a poem that has already been written? I think as long as you're putting out something, someone is going to relate to it. Like I said, identity doesn't mean that these concepts are exclusive to you, they're just unique to you. Same way that you have them, someone else might also be experiencing something, because at the end of the day, we're all working with schemas of how we've been brought up and done for all of these things. So there's different aspects of our personalities that will be mirrored in other people. So as long as you're true to yourself and the parts of yourself that are making this kind of, that are building your identity, then as long as you're expressing that, someone else who has like maybe let's say my identity is, I enjoy colorful things, I enjoy speaking about queerness, I enjoy speaking about women. That's a part of my identity because I love color, I'm a woman, and I'm a queer person. For someone then who's listening who might be exclusively queer, my stuff will, you know, resonate with them. Someone who's a woman, this will resonate with them, but the queerness might not necessarily resonate with her. For someone then who only enjoys color but doesn't listen to, or doesn't sit with things about women or sit with things about queer people, will be listening for that. So as long as you're expressing yourself, you will find people who identify with one part of your persona. Man, life is so important because you have to live in the moment. I feel like that's something that artists do without even realizing, but that's something you should definitely cultivate, not in an unhealthy way, like, oh, in the moment, now we're going to do that for like 6 days. No. No, but it's seizing the moment, like, to the fullest of its ability. In that meaning, like, trying to churn out the most positive outcome out of a situation for yourself. So even if it's pain, I feel like, I actually think that experiencing trauma, experiencing pain, and experiencing loss and hurt are some of the most powerful lessons that you can have as an artist that could be turned into something beautiful. I think you should always try to have transformative work, and work especially that transforms pain. Even like breakup songs, you know, that's a way of transforming a pain that someone felt into a song, a beautiful song that then someone else listens to. And you wouldn't have been able to write that song without thinking through life and thinking through, this person really did me like this, Gina Skiaje. And after that, you're like, anyway, like, I can write about this and I can talk about it. And through sharing that life experience, you find someone on the other side like, wow, like these experiences, I identify with that. Again, coming back to identity, you see. So your identity will be born through thinking through all of the experiences that you're going through. And as you continue to live, you will experience, and as you continue to experience, you can review your experiences in life: positive, negative, happy, sad, sometimes even there's just that kind of gray in between. Yeah, and you can even still speak about that. I have some songs actually. I don't know if there's, yeah, like my third EP, Conjunction, is mostly about that in between space, because I wasn't happy, I wasn't sad. I was just kind of in this loopish kind of space, wondering and thinking. And through that thought, I was like trying to give my experience as a queer person in Kenya, as a creative, and trying to think, wow, like where are we going with our political parties? Where is our society going? Is anything going to change? Are we actually going to do anything to change the issues in our creative industry? Are we going to, so it's not actually that I was mad or happy, it's just thinking through those processes. So life is so important, or rather thinking through your experiences in life is so important to understanding where you're going as an artist, and even just having work to share with people. Love, wow. I feel like love not in the sense of like, oh, romantic love. Like that's beautiful too, but love is so much deeper than that. It's not just about romance, or rather not just about like romance geared towards marriage and all of this. Romance can exist outside of, a partnership. It can exist in a friendship. It can exist with yourself, And I think romance should exist with your work. You should love what it is that you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, quit that shit. Imagine, like, quit it. You're wasting time. You're wasting your good mental health. You're wasting your good, your good efforts through life. You're wasting your years. You look back at life and be like, I regret. I think you should do what you can until you absolutely cannot. And when you can't, you'll know. You check out. You start to make excuses as to why you can't show up to something. You start to do something less, like with less, with less energy and drive than you used to before. Let's say now you're at a job, you've been hating this job for 5-10 years now. The first 3 years, you were cool, you were like delivering. Now it's like, you're waking up out of bed, you're like, you're already sad, you're already mad, you sleep, you wake up, you're mad, like. Now, when it gets to that point and you already know that you're sitting in hatred for something that you're doing every day, man, that's going to taint your heart, that's going to taint your spirit, that's going to make you fall into self-defecating situations, because now you'd be sitting more into less healthy situations with yourself, such as over drinking or engaging in drugs, engaging in just, I've forgotten the word for it. Yes. It is. You'll be engaging in a lot of self-sabotage. Even your work, you find yourself sabotaging it low-key. It's not even until you're consciously oh, I'm not going to deliver this in, but you're not going to deliver something at 100% of its capacity. So, no, you have to love what it is you do. You have to love yourself to love what it is you do. I feel like that's something that I really had to sit with, because I struggled with my mental health growing up. I struggled with self-love a lot, and I had to go into therapy and go into just practicing better working habits and better self-help habits with myself, and through finding that love for myself, I found passion for my work that I'd never had before, because I'd always been creating. I was painting, I was singing, I was writing, but if you don't love yourself, you're not going to have enough faith to step out into the creative world. And if you don't love yourself, man, people will come at you and you will not be ready for that shit. Literally, you have to love yourself first in order to have this front and have this faith in life and in this process. So yeah, cultivating self-love is vital. And then you have to love your audience, and by this I mean you just have to have care and understand what it is you're trying to put forward for them. Are you trying to show up for them and make them feel heard? Are you trying to actually do something active, raise money for something? Or are you, what you're doing has to come from a place of care for the people that it is that you want to connect with. So love your audience enough to share your most authentic side of yourself with them. Not to say that now you can't be fake or you have to give away everything. Again, you see, you shouldn't be giving parts of yourself that you're not ready to give. But if you're able, as much of yourself that you're able to give, you should. And that in turn like helps, you know, just cultivate this sweet, loving relationship between you and your audience. And then love life. Loving life, I guess, comes back to loving yourself. Ties into mental health. Me, I don't always love life, but I really strive to. And when I feel like I've been slipping in my mental health and slipping in my appreciation for things, I really try to come back to that, because if you don't love life and you don't seek appreciation and seek, like, you know, to find beauty in everything, you will find so many flaws in everything. And when you find flaws in everything, you start to find flaws in yourself. You start to find flaws in yourself, you find flaws in your craft, and then you quit. So everything is fueled by love. To sum that up, love is the fuel. Life is the life is like the broader kind of thinking as to what you can do. So life is the perspective, and identity is the concept. So yeah. I think whether energy is positive or negative is based off of how it affects, or like, yeah, how it's moving from you and affecting somebody else. So the minute something becomes negative is if you're feeling badly about yourself and then you decide to make someone else feel like shit about themselves too, then that's negative energy. It can come from someone else, but that means they were feeling some kind of way and they decided to project that onto you. So it's about how you're projecting it. Are you projecting something negative, or are you projecting something positive? So yeah, it's whether it's you receiving it or whether it's you giving it, that projection process is where now you can say, oh, is this negative or is it positive? And you know if it's negative, if someone ends up interacting with you and you're in a negative headspace that day, so you're just giving off bad energy, and they leave that place and they're, yeah, they leave that place and they're like, really just feeling shitty about themselves, and you were being negative. But if you like churn positivity and, you know, try to exert positivity in people and project positivity onto people, as much as even then they might be feeling negative, they wouldn't have left that place thinking to themselves, I feel worse. It's just, you know, that person was too positive, and it ends like that. Or, wow, that person helped me. And smile for people, or rather just smile and the world will smile back at you. Not to say that you have to smile though. Plus, you know, it's always good to just give good energy, because you never know. Unaweza kuwa umekasirikia mtu. Sometimes even me, I'm like, damn. Enyewe nilikuwa nimekasirikia, so nimekasirikia mtu mwingine, and then sasa yeye atakasirikia mtu mwingine. It's like a ripple effect. Yeah. So if you're just caring and kind with someone, even maybe if I didn't fuck with what you were saying, I wouldn't have been like, you know, get away from me, unless you're like doing some fuck shit. But yeah, just give off good energy and the world will reciprocate it back at you. Also, I believe in karma. If you put out bad things into the universe, they will come back tenfold. If you put out good energy, it will come back tenfold. And I've seen it in action for myself personally. Whenever I'm like, I've been in a spiteful place trying to say, you know, gee, what. Things humble you. Life humbles you. You're like, by the kumbe ile day nilikuwa nimechocha sana, sijui nilikuwa nasema nini, and it's like, nah, si lazima ukwe extra hivyo. I don't know. Thank you so much for coming and watching this far into this episode. If you got here, you're a real one, you know. If not, it's okay, we still love you. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's been watching this. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting my journey. Thank you to everyone who, just has the audacity to show up as themselves. Like, I'm grateful to be surrounded by people who value expression and value individuality and value, you know, just being the most authentic version of themselves. And I hope that you all can keep being that, and if not, have already been that, can cultivate that in your everyday lives, because this is the only life that we are aware that we're going to live, you know. You know, even for the people who believe in past lives and next lives, even me, I believe in that sometime, you know, you never know. But since this is the only life that we're going to be conscious enough to make the decisions that we're making right now, live it to the best of your ability. Show up as yourself every damn day. Never allow yourself to be pushed into a corner. Never allow yourself to minuscule your efforts, to minuscule your passion, your person. Yeah, keep growing, keep loving, keep sharing. Follow me on Instagram for starters. I feel like, okay, that is my main space for social media, mostly because I'm both a visual and sonic artist. So Instagram has been the space at least that I'm able to pull up with everything that I do, and it's where I've always been. I actually only got into Twitter sometime last year because, management were like, bruh, you need a Twitter. At least even for the people who are going to be tagging you in things. And I hate it. I hate it to date. I really hate it. Because, I don't know, I can't wrap my mind around why we need to...
So the people with the interface.
The people... the people... Like, now at least like my Twitter these days isn't so crazy. But then when you're like looking at Twitter and you don't have an account, you'll see the most random things and it's like, what? Yani you guys aren't mad? Me, I'd be mad on Twitter 24/7 if I'm seeing at the first thing, why are women like this? What? Like, what? Why is it even coming to my feed, But yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter too. Sometimes I share things. I share my own things. Sometimes my own thoughts, mostly frustrations with the industry, frustrations with people, just shit like that. TikTok also because I love sharing visual things, and also because you can fuse it with music and just fun. I feel like TikTok is a very fun place. So follow me on all of those avenues. And then Spotify for my music, Apple Music as well, Boomplay, for the people who got it. And YouTube, obviously. But I'd say for my full albums, unless you have YouTube Music now, which isn't available in our country, unfortunately, for my full albums, those ones are only on Spotify, Boomplay. In fact, Boomplay only even has my latest album. Spotify and Apple Music and Driza and Tidal have everything, just mostly because of the what are they called? Because of the distribution company that I was using when I started putting out those things. So yeah, as of my last one, now it's also on Boomplay. So yeah, if you wanna listen, do that. If you wanna watch the videos, YouTube. If you wanna keep up, social media.